Okay, so here we have, okay, so all these topics that I'm discussing right now has been deleted till yet, means there's no need of these two chapters. Okay, hello Sadhna, how are you?
Fine, sir. Sir, they asked me to. They just
Join.
sent.
Yeah, you can join this class also. No need to afraid that we are, if we are studying science, so it doesn't matter. You can continue with this one. Okay, no need for this. That okay, so let me discuss a very important phenomena. Okay, so from this here we only means the above portion that I'm discussing right now, this corrections of myopia, hypermetropia, this has been deleted from this chapter, means these topics are not coming, and we are only getting the topic that is related, means after this prism. Okay, so from this prism we are going to discuss this one. Okay, this chapter, and some natural phenomena we are going to discuss, like this total internal reflections we are going to discuss, okay, today. And moreover, this rainbow formation, the means the natural phenomena, like the why does the sky look blue, and the sun appear red during the sunrise and sunset. Okay, and why does its image appears after the 2 minutes after the sunset and 2 minutes before the sunset. So these are the natural phenomena. So let's discuss these phenomena. Okay, so first let's study about the total internal reflections. Okay, so wait a minute, let's start with the total internal reflections. Okay, so what is TIR? What do you mean by the word TIR, total internal reflections? Do you have any idea what is total internal reflection? Tanishka, I have taught you this one. TIR. Okay. No. Okay. So let me explain you what is TIR. Okay. Actually, Asila, I don't know whether you have studied that chapter before, the light chapter, because light chapter is very important. Means for proper understanding. So I have referred the concept that I want to revise for English exam. So yes, Sadhna, you can leave, beta. You can leave. If you have any doubt regarding to any topics, so you can ask. Otherwise, you can leave. We will going to have the math class tomorrow. Okay. So don't worry, we will going to have the math class tomorrow. You can study for this English, okay, if you want to study, no matter. Okay, so let's continue with this one. Okay, so what is actually TIR? Let me explain you. So whenever light passes from one medium to another medium, okay, one medium to another medium, it bends towards the normal. So you need to understand that this phenomenon is very important. First of all, we need to study about the refraction. What is refraction? Okay, so when a light travels from a medium, so they are the two types of mediums when a light travels. One is called the rarer medium, rarer medium. Another one is considered to be as denser medium. Okay, so as comparison to glass, as comparison to air, glass is glass is considered to be as rarer medium, sorry, denser medium, as comparison to that of, means if you are having two medium, that is air and glass, so here air will be considered as rarer medium, and the glass will be considered as denser medium. And you need to keep in mind one more thing here, that it is not necessarily that the medium that is going to have lesser density will be considered to be as a rarer medium. No, this is not necessary. We have done the experiment, and regarding to this we have observed that when the light passes from air to glass, it bends towards the normal. Means if there is some angle of incidence, let I'm considering this is some angle of incidence, and I'm just taking this one as normal. Okay, so when the light actually passes through this one, through the glass, it bends towards the normal. Okay, means it was going like this way before, it was going like this way. Okay, but it bends towards the normal, and which is normal, this line is considered to be as normal, this line is considered to be as normal. Okay, so it bends towards the normal, and this bending phenomena when a light travel from one medium to another medium, this bending phenomena, when light travel from one medium to another is called refraction. We call it refraction. Means what is important? What are the 2 points that is important for bending of light? The first is that light should travel from one medium to another. This is important phenomena. And the second one is bending. Means the light must bend. So they are the 2 important criteria for, if I'm saying that a light is showing some refraction. So it means that light should bend towards the normal or away from the normal. From its path, it must deviate. And another one is that it should bend either towards the normal or other away from the normal. For example, if I'm just taking this glass slab, okay, and if I pass the light through it, and if I pass the light through it normally, means perpendicular to the surface, so it will not bend, and it will without bending, without bending means the light will pass through this glass slab without bending, straight it will pass through it, and there will be no refraction condition. So we will consider this one, that there is no refraction is taking place. Okay, no refraction is taking place. So here we need to understood that here that this is sine angle of incidence. So for this sine angle of incidence, if I'm considering this one is angle of incidence, this one is angle of refractions. So when a light travel from light is traveling from rarer medium to denser medium. Oh my god. From rarer medium to denser medium. We always know that angle of incidence must be greater than angle of refraction. And this is simple. That it must bend towards the normal. Light must bend. So light must bend towards the normal. Okay, first of all, towards the normal. So we can say that angle of incidence must be greater than angle of refractions. Okay, and in a similar way, if the light travel, if the light is traveling simply means from denser medium to the rarer medium. Just imagine the light is traveling from denser medium to the rarer medium. So for example, this one is the glass slab, okay, and this is the glass, and this one is actually air. Just imagine this light ray is coming from this one. Light ray is coming from this glass slab. Okay. So this light ray is coming from this glass slab, and this is the normal. If I'm drawing the normal, so it will bend away from the normal. Okay, it will bend away from the normal. So if I'm considering this one as normal, normal line. Okay, this one has normal line, and this one is actually the refracted ray. So we can consider this one, that this one, and this one will be considered as angle of R, and this one will be considered as angle I. And so when light is traveling from denser to the rarer medium, okay, the angle of incidence is lesser than angle of refraction. Got it? Got my point, both of you? Sheila and Tanishka, do you understand?
So please repeat the last thing.
Yeah. I'm saying that if the light is traveling from denser medium to the rarer medium, okay, it must bend away from the normal. This one is considered as, if I'm considering this one as normal, this red line is considering as normal. Normal is an imaginary line that is perpendicular to the surface of on which the light is falling. So if I'm saying that from inside the glass slab, the light is coming and it is coming into the air. So according to this one, the light should cover a path this one. The light should cover a path this one. But actually it bends away from the normal. It bends away from the normal. Why it is bending away from the normal? Yes, it is bending away from the normal because the light is traveling from rarer medium to, sorry, denser medium to rarer medium. Now, why the light show this type of phenomena? We need to understand this one, that why the light is actually showing this type of phenomena, that when it travel from rare medium to denser medium, it bends rare to denser, it bends towards the normal, and from denser to the rarer, it bends away from the normal. Actually, it depends on the speed of light. So when light travel from rarer medium to denser medium, when the light is traveling, light travel from rarer to denser medium Okay, its speed decreases. And vice versa. Okay, means when a light travels from denser to rarer, then its speed will increase. Okay, so you need to understand here that this type of phenomenon is shown. Okay, now you know that I need to explain you one more thing here, that the value, we know that the sine angle of refraction, sorry, sine I upon sine R is actually constant. This value is constant. Okay, sine angle of incidence to the sine angle of refraction is constant, and we called it refractive index. Refractive index, or we denote it by the letter mu. Sine I, angle of incidence, to the sine angle of refraction is actually equals to mu. Got it? Got my point? Tanishka, are you there in the class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we called it sine angle of incidence. So the sine angle of refraction is called mu. Okay. So just imagine if I'm just bringing this. Just imagine. First of all, I need to explain you something about sine. Okay, the value of sine is actually increases from 0 degree to, means we know that sine 0 is actually 0, sine 30 is actually half, and then sine 45 is actually 1 upon root 2. And similarly, when we go from 0 to 90 degree, the overall value of sine is increasing. Means the value of sine is directly proportional to the theta. Means more the theta, more will be the value of sine. More the theta. Means the minimum value of sine is from 0 to 90 is here. It is minimum value. Sine 0 is 0. And sine 90 is actually 1. The value of sine lies from 1 to 0 to 1. Means as we increase the theta, the value of sine increases. Okay. Means more the theta, more will be the value. Less the theta, less will be the value. Okay. Now just imagine a condition. If I'm saying that this is 1 upon 2 is a value of something, okay, and this is equals to 5, then what should be here? What you will write here? What will be the number? Like, what if I'm writing here x? So what will be the value of x? Tell me, beta.
30.
No. If I'm writing here 1 upon 2 is equals to 5 upon x. So what's the value of x? Calculate the value of x. This is very simple. X would be 10. 1 upon 2. If I'm writing here this 1 upon 2, then x would be here 10.
Okay.
Okay, x would be 10. So if I write here 10, then what will be the value of here?
20.
So what you are noticing here is that if I increase this value, if I increase the numerator, then denominator will automatically increases to keep this fraction 1 upon 2 constant. Otherwise, this constant will not remain same. So if I double this one, so I double this one also. Okay. In the similar way, for a glass, if I am talking about the value of sine I upon sine r is constant, and that is 4 upon 3. 4 upon, sorry, uh, that is 3 by 2. 3 by 2. Okay. This is constant. So if I increase the sine, if I increase the angle of incidence, the angle of refraction will automatically increase in order to keep this value constant. Like I was writing here, if I increase 5, then automatically it become 10 here. So if I increase the theta, this overall value of this will be increases, because I know I have taught you that when we increase the theta, the overall value of sine increases, because theta is directly proportional to sine. More the theta, more will be the value. So if I increase the numerator, the denominator will all automatically increases. Okay. So talking about this one, let me explain you. Okay. Let me explain you. Okay. So if I take a condition, just imagine a condition. Okay. Just imagine a condition. Here. This is a glass slab. Okay. And this is the I, angle of incidence I. Okay. So if I put this one, that the light is passing through this, it should bend towards the normal. So let it bend like this way. Okay, for this one. And if I increase the value of theta, let the theta become like this, then the value of this one will become like this. Means the value of R will also increase. Now I is this one, the R will increases. Okay. In the similar way, if I increase more I, then the value of R will also increase in order to keep this constant. Okay. Okay. Got it? Got my point? Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now talking about this one. Okay. So actually, let me make this one again. Okay. So, okay. So if I make this angle of incidence like this way, if the maximum angle of incidence is this one, that I'm making this angle of incidence is 90 degree. Okay. Angle of incidence is 90 degree. Again, there will be R, because the light is passing from rarer to denser medium. Okay. For this one, angle I must be greater than angle of R. This is constant. We need to remind here that sine angle angle of incidence. So if I'm consider maximum angle is 90 degree. So here we will going to have some value, that is R, and that R will be lesser than 90. Okay. Now this is our first condition. Okay. Now I'm just considering the second conditions. Okay. Like this, I'm just saying this is another glass slab. Okay. Okay. Now this one is the normal. Okay. And I'm giving you a light ray. A light ray is passing okay, through this angle. Now the light is traveling from denser to rarer medium. Denser to rarer. This one is air and this one is rarer medium. Okay. Now the light is traveling from denser to rarer medium. Okay. So if I'm saying that this one is the angle of incidence, and if the light is traveling from rarer to denser medium, we always know it bends away from the normal. Means it should not bend like this way. It will bend away from the normal. Like this, it bend like this way. This is the angle of incidence and this one is the angle of refraction. Okay. Here we can consider this one. This one is the angle of incidence. And this one is the angle of refraction. Now considering the another ray. Okay. Now we increase the value of I. If I increase the value of I such like that, this way. Okay. Then this ray will again, if I'm increasing the value of I, then we know that the R will automatically increase, because when a light is passing from denser denser to rarer medium, to rarer medium. Okay, denser to rarer medium. So angle I must be smaller than angle R, means R must be greater. So if I'm considering this I, so from this I, we will going to have some greater R. So because the light bends away from the normal. So let it comes like this way, and this one is R. Okay. Now considering the another point, another ray, let's consider this is, we or again increase the value of I, and it becomes like this way. And for this I, for this angle of incidence, okay, the R become exactly 90. R become exactly 90. Exactly 90 means for this I, let's suppose this is the I angle, and for this I become 90 degree. Okay. Now what would happen if I increase a little more the value of I? Just imagine that I'm giving you another ray, and if I increase this, the value of I again, a little bit I, then at this angle of incidence, the I means the ray will comes back into its own medium. The ray will come back into its own medium. Okay. And this ray will now be showing, it is now not showing the refraction, it is actually showing the reflection, because up to the red angle of incidence that the red line is representing, the angle of incidence is 90 degrees, sorry, angle of reflection is 90 degrees. And when we increase the value of I again a little more than the red one, okay, then the ray will come back to its original medium, and here it will be showing, yeah, it will be following the law of reflection, that is angle I will be equivalent to angle R. So whatever the value of I here, it will be equivalent to the R, and that is the angle of reflection. Okay. So talking about this one, what is this? So we know that if a ray, if a light is traveling, from denser to the rarer medium, okay, from denser to rarer medium, okay, then it is possible, it might be possible that at some angle of incidence, the light ray may come back to its original medium, means the light can come back to its original medium. It will not go away from the, it will not pass out the medium. It will not pass out this medium. Okay. So considering this one, that what would be that angle? So you know that at red, when the red line is marking here. Okay. We will consider this let's consider this red one. This is the angle of incidence. So when for the red line you are considering here, the angle of incidence is becoming, sorry, angle of refraction is becoming 90 degrees. So that angle is called the critical angle. What we called it? We called it critical angle. Critical angle. Okay, critical angle. And what is actually critical angle? It is that angle of incidence when the light travel from denser medium to rarer medium at some angle of incidence. So what is critical angle? The angle of, it is the angle of incidence, at which the angle of refraction becomes 90 degree. Okay. So what are the condition for the, and this is called the okay, when the angle of incidence is greater than critical angle, when the angle of incidence is actually greater than critical angle, then TIR starts showing, means we can simply say that the TIR is happening. Okay, means the total internal reflection is happening. Okay, so we can consider that at the angle at the angle of incidence greater than critical angle. At the angle of incidence greater than critical angle. Okay, greater than critical angle. Okay, greater than critical angle. Greater than critical angle. The TIR star. TIR, total internal reflection. Internal reflections take place. Okay, means when you have the angle, when the light is traveling from, the first condition for TIR is the first condition for TIR. The first condition for TIR is the light must travel from denser medium to rarer medium. So this is the first condition, that light must travel from denser to rarer medium. This is the first condition. And the second condition is that the angle of incidence must be greater than the critical angle. This is the second. This is the second condition for TIR. And there are the two conditions, that the first, the light should travel from denser medium to the rarer medium, and moreover the angle of incidence must be greater than the angle of simply we can simply say that it must be greater than the critical angle, because at critical angle the maximum angle, that is of 90 degree, means the angle of reflection become 90 degree, and when we slightly increase this value, okay, so the light start coming back into its medium. So do you understood this one, the concept, both of you?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Sure. Tanishka, you
Yes,
understood? And Asila, you understood, beta?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Yeah, sir.
Sure. Okay. Okay. So this is called the critical angle. This is called the TIR, and there are so many applications of TIR. Actually, there are so many applications of TIR that when we need to, when we we have to send the signals or in data transmissions without because in normal data transmissions through the electrical cables, there are so much means amount of energy is being released out. Okay, and the energy is being released out, and there is a loss of energy. Okay, but in we have a special cable, that is fiber optics. Yeah, optical cable, fiber optical cable. Okay, and these cable, when the light is traveling, these are the glass strips. Okay, and when these glass strips is coming down, okay, so this one is like this way. Okay, so the TIR start happening, means we incident the light, and there is means without much loss loss of energy, we are able to transmit this with the help of light. Means this, we send the light rays from one end of the wire, and it is being transmitted. So there is continuously TIR is taking place, and we are able to send the light to the long distances without much loss. Okay, now you need to understood one thing here, is that we have studied this Snell's law. We called it Snell's law. Okay, so in the Snell's law, we have studied that sine I upon sine R is equals to actually mu, and that is of refractive index. Okay, and it depends only means the value, means if a light is traveling from air to glass. Let's suppose if I'm saying that if a light is traveling from air to glass, it bent towards the normal because it is passing from rarer to denser medium. Okay, so whatever the angle here we put here, okay, whatever the angle of refraction we put here, okay, so that we simply called it the, means whatever the value comes here, by putting the values of sin I, sin R, we got a constant value Okay, and that is always a constant value. Means if we increase the I, the R will automatically get adjusted according to this one, and we will be going to get a constant value for the glass, and that is actually 1.5 or 3 by 2. 3 by 2. Okay. Now you need to keep in mind here one thing very importantly. You need to understood here. Okay. There are the two types of refractive index. Refractive index are of two types. One is the absolute refractive index. Absolute refractive index. Okay. And another one is the relative refractive index. Relative refractive index. Okay. What do you mean by the word absolute? Absolute. Okay. When the light is traveling from air or vacuum to any medium, okay, that type of refractive index we calculate is called the absolute refractive index. For example, you have a table, because we can make a table by keeping one medium as constant. Okay, so if I'm considering that air is vacuum or air is our first medium from which the light is traveling. Okay, so if I consider this one as glass, air and glass. Okay, so I calculate this one, that I put this some angle of incidence and some angle of reflection. For this glass, when I put the value of sine I upon sine R, for whatever, if I tested this one is air and this one, our first medium is air, we are for absolute refractive index, we are going to have the first medium, that is air. Okay, so we generally keep this one, that is 1 point, that and whatever the value of R we are getting here for the glass, and we experimentally did that and we find that the value is 1.5. Similarly, we did with water. We take the first medium as air and the light is traveling from air to water. Okay, so when the light is traveling from air to water, so what we are getting, the value of sine I upon sine R for this one is actually 1.33. Okay, sine I upon sine R. So whatever we are getting, we are just calculating this value for diamond. For diamond. Okay, so when we are getting this value for the diamond from when the light is traveling from air to diamond, okay, so sine I upon sine R for the diamond, we just calculate this value and we get 2.42. Okay, so when we consider that the first medium is air, another medium is actually कोई भी medium हो सकता है, means it can be glass, water, diamond, turpentine, kerosene, or it can be any medium. Okay, so if I'm talking about this one, okay, so when we are considering the first medium as the air, and we are comparing when light is traveling from air to any medium, so then it is the type of refractive index we get is the absolute refractive index. Okay, so I can write here that when we can write here when the light is traveling from air to any other medium, such type of refractive index is called absolute refractive index. We call it absolute refractive index. And what is relative refractive index? Relative refractive index is that when the first medium is not not air or vacuum. Okay, when the first medium is not air or vacuum, we can consider this one. Okay, so if the first medium is not light and vacuum, means light is not traveling, you can even consider this one, that if the light is traveling from glass to air, then it is also not considered as an absolute refractive index. It will be considered as relative refractive index. Relative. Okay, you need to keep in mind here one thing very importantly, that when the light is traveling, when the light is not traveling, is not traveling from, is not traveling from air or vacuum, such type of refractive index is called relative refractive index. Relative refractive index. Okay. For example, if the light is traveling from glass, from water, this is water. Okay, from water to air. From water to air, it will bend away from the normal because it is water is denser and it is rarer. So it will bend away from the normal. So it will bend away from the normal. This is water and this one is air. So this type of refractive index will be get sin I upon sin R. Here will be relative refractive index, relative, because the light is traveling from water to air. Okay, what not from air to water. Okay, not from. Okay, in the similar way, here if I'm considering this one is I and this one is R. Okay, and similar way, if the light is traveling from glass to, let's suppose if the light is traveling from glass to water, this one is glass, and this one is water, glass, this one is water. Okay, so here we know that the refractive index of glass is 1.5 and that of water is actually 1.33. Absolute refractive index I'm talking about means when the light is traveling from air to glass and from air to water. So more the refractive index, more the absolute refractive index. For if I'm just comparing that, now if the light is traveling from glass to water, will it bend towards the normal or away from the normal? If I'm getting confused, because I don't know which one is denser, which one is rarer. So in this case, I have a table which will give me the absolute refractive index of glass and water. This is the absolute refractive index, means when the light is traveling from air to glass, so its refractive index we get 1.5. And similarly, when the light is traveling from air to water, okay, so its refractive index is 1.33. Now, if there is no air, if I'm saying that the light is traveling from glass to water and we have their absolute refractive index, so you need to keep in mind here that more the refractive index, more the refractive index, more will be the denser medium. Okay, you need to keep in mind, dear students, that more the refractive index, more will be the denser medium. So if the light is traveling from a glass, which is going to have the absolute refractive index 1.5, and it is water, which is going to have the refractive index as 1.33. So can you please tell me, if the light is traveling from glass to water, will it bend towards the normal or away from the normal? Asila and Tanishka.
Again, the question.
I'm asking that here we have the absolute refractive index of glass is 1.5 and that of water is 1.33. Means when the light is traveling from air to glass, we called it the refractive index is 1.5. Okay, and when the light is traveling from air to water, that the refractive index is actually 1.33. There is the absolute refractive index. The first medium is air and the second medium is glass. The first medium is air and the second medium is water. So when the light is traveling from air to any medium, that type of refractive index we got is absolute refractive index. So here we have this absolute refractive index. So if now there is no air, if I'm saying that this light is traveling from glass to water, so will it bends towards the normal or away from the normal?
Away from the normal.
Yes, yes. You need to keep in mind here that more the refractive index, more will be the denser medium. More will be the denser medium. So here we have the absolute refractive index of diamond is actually glass is 1.5 and that of water is 1.33. So it is denser medium. It is denser, and this one is the rarer medium. So it will bends a little bit away from the medium. Okay, because that there is no much greater difference. So here we have I and this one is R. Got it? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now one more thing I need to teach you here is that if I'm saying that the absolute refractive index of air to glass, so this is the way to write the absolute refractive index of glass. Means it means that the light is traveling from light is traveling from air to glass. Okay, and whatever I'm saying, if I'm saying that the absolute refractive index of diamond is this one, so I have to write it air to D. If I'm saying it, if the absolute refractive index of water, so I have to write here like this way. So this is the way to write this one. Okay, so what's the value of this one? This one is 1.33, sorry, 1.5, 1.5, and that of diamond is 2.42, and that of water is 1.5. Okay, okay, okay. So if I need to calculate,
So water is 1.33.
Sorry, 1.33. 1.33. So if I'm saying that, if you need to calculate the refractive index, if I ask you that what would be the refractive index if the light is traveling from glass to air, diamond to air, and that of water to air. So what would be the refractive index? So it becomes simply reciprocal. It's become simply reciprocal. Means if the air to glass is 1.5, then glass to air will be 1.1 upon 1.5. That of diamond to air would be 1 upon 2.42. 1 upon 2.42. And that of water is 1 upon 1.33. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Got it? And the way to write is to write the absolute refractive index is, means if it is being given in the examination, that how this will be written. It will be written like this way: the absolute refractive index, index of glass with respect to air. It will be written like this way. Means the one which you are giving the respect should be written here. Okay. So this will be written like this way: the absolute refractive index of diamond with respect to air, the absolute refractive index of water with respect to air. So absolute, and it may not be written as absolute. It can be written as refractive index of glass with respect to air, if it is being given to you. Okay. So now one and last thing that I need to teach you is that the value of sine, we know the value of sine theta is actually 0.5. Then that of sine 35 would be, means you have to add 0.07 to this one. You will get the value of 5. Okay, that will be 0.57. The value of sine 40 will be 0.64. The value of sine 45 would be 0.771. Okay, and that of sine 50 would be 0.7. Here we don't have the 8, we have 7. Okay, 7. So these are the values of sine 30, sine 40, sine 45, sine. Okay. So if it is being given to you, I need to remind you one more thing is that that if it is being asked that the absolute refractive index of glass, means air to glass, is 1.5, or you can write it 3/2, then calculate the critical angle of glass. Critical angle is what angle? Critical angle is that angle at, means below, means above that critical angle, the TIR starts showing, or we can say that critical angle is that angle of incidence. That is actually angle of incidence at which angle R become angle of refraction become 90 degree. Angle of refraction become 90 degree. So try this one. Will you be able to calculate this one? I'm going to give you 2 or 3 minutes to solve this one. If you are not able to solve, I will help you.
So can you explain?
Yes, why not? Okay. So actually, we know that we are talking about the critical angle, and critical angle is means the angle at which TIR, means the above angle at which TIR is happening. Okay. So you know that when we consider the critical angle, just reminding this one, remind all this, all what I have taught you. Okay. So critical angle is that angle actually at which the angle of incidence, means critical angle is at that angle of incidence at which the R become 90 degree, means angle of refraction become 90 degree. So that red angle means, if I need to read this green one, okay. So this red means line of incidence, angle of incidence will be considered as critical angle. So first of all, you need to keep in mind here is that the light is traveling from glass to air, not from air to glass. Okay, not from air to glass. The light is traveling from glass to air, and in the question it is being given to us that what is it? It is being given to us. It is being given to us that the absolute refractive index of air to glass is actually 3/2. But the light is not traveling from air to glass. We have to travel the light from glass to air. So we have to write it like this way. Means if air to glass is being given to us 3/2, then the refractive index of glass to air, light is traveling from glass to air, it would be sine angle of incidence on sine angle of refraction. And now glass to air, the refractive index of glass to air will be 2/3. So we have to write here 2/3 here. And we need to calculate the angle of incidence. Actually, critical angle is that angle of incidence at which this sine angle of refraction becomes 90 degree. Have you studied this one or having some doubt? Means, do you understand this statement or still having some doubt? Asila and Tanishka, do you understand this one or still having some doubt?
Understood.
Okay. So we need to calculate this value. Okay. So how can we calculate this value? So if I'm writing here 2 by 3, okay, is equals to the value of sine C. Sine C we need to calculate, okay? Sine angle of grid. Why I'm writing here critical angle? Because uh, critical angle is that angle at which the angle of refraction becomes 90 degree. And here we have this angle of refraction. Angle of critical angle is this angle. And we know that the angle of refraction will be 90 degree. Okay. And you need to keep in mind here that if we are considering the angle of incidence when the light is traveling from glass, and we are considering the angle of refraction when the light is entering the air, so we have to write the refractive index mu glass to air, not air to glass. If it is being given, then we have to reciprocal this one, because the light is traveling from glass to air, not air to glass. When the light is traveling from air to glass, then whatever the angle here we have, then we have to take it as angle of incidence. So you need to keep in mind, that's a silly mistake, that if it is being given to us that the absolute refractive index of glass is 3 by 2, it simply means that light is traveling from air to glass. But when we are calculating the critical angle of glass, light is not traveling from air to glass, it will be traveling from glass to air. So accordingly, we have to change this one and we have to write this value according to this one, that would be 2 by 3. And now this is 2 by 3 is equals to sine C. And then now what you need to do here is, this is sine C, critical angle, and the value of sine 90, you know, that is 1. So you can write here 2 by 3 is actually equals to sine C upon 1, and 1, no need to write 1. So what you can write here is sine C. The value of sine C is, so you can write here C, and 2 by 3 is actually 0.66. Okay, 0.67 or 66. Okay, and this is sine C. And I have made the table here that it must be lines. Here we have 64 and we have 71. So 0.67 will be lying somewhere here between 41 and 40 and 45 we are going to have. So you can write here that it might be approximately equals to sine 43. Let's assume that is sine 43 or 42. Sine 43 is equals to sine C. Then C will get cancelled out. We will be going to have that C is equals to 43 degree. Here the critical angle for glasses is 43. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So please take the screenshot of this one and you need to copy this one at home. So from here, start taking the screenshot from here. When
Sir,
you have done?
Yeah, I've written.
Okay. Have you done this one also?
Yes, sir.
Both of you? Okay. Have you taken the screenshot of this one?
Yes.
This one? Done.
Sir, I've written all.
Okay, you have written all. Okay, very good. Very nice. So that's very important, beta. Today we have studied a little bit about the refractive index and the total internal refractions. In the next class, we'll be going to discuss the other topics of this chapter. So that's all for today. We'll meet you in the next class. Thanks a lot for joining this class. Okay. So. Okay. Asila, you may leave the class. Okay, beta. Because there are
Okay, sir.
Okay. Hello, Hamna, and hello, Maridullah. How are you? And where were you in the last class, Maridullah? Where were you, beta?
Sir, there's a network connection issue.
There was a network connection issue. Honestly, you're enjoying Sunday.
Sir, no, sir. I was in village, sir. So there's a network connection issue.
Okay, you were in a village. There's a network connection issue. Okay, Hamna, how are you?
Fine, sir. What
Fine.
about you?
I'm also fine. And how your studies is going on?
It's also good, sir.
Okay. So Hamna, How much percentage did you score in the previous one?